Okay, I hope I get it this time. This is my third video in my EDC series. If you haven't watched the intro video, which is the long one, it's like 25 minutes or something. My first video about the body, my second video about the mind. Uh, this might not make sense because this kind of incorporates all of that into one. Um, this one, we're going to talk about the spirit. When you talk about the spirit, I'm talking about things like your spirituality, um, the metaphysical things that make up who you are, your personality, and morals and ethics, and I'm trying to get comfortable, morals and ethics and things like that. Specifically, though, I'm going to be talking about a couple of aspects that matter in this. This might be a little longer, but bear with me, we'll get through it together. Okay, so, full disclosure, I've been a Christian all of my life. So if I make biblical references and you're like, oh my god, I don't agree with his biblical reference, well, then go away. Obviously, we're not ever going to see eye to eye on some things. But if you can look past that, like if you're agnostic or you're atheist and you can look past the fact that I made a biblical reference, hey, we can make this work. Anywho, I've been a Christian for 30 years. I was forced, like most kids, to go to church every single Sunday, sometimes every single Wednesday, and sometimes on Saturdays, up until I was about 21 years old when I went to university. When I went to university is when I was actually allowed to decide for myself, because my parents were there, obviously. I was actually allowed to decide for myself whether or not I wanted to go to church. And like most awesome Christian kids, I decided I didn't want to go to church. Um, I was being sarcastic. Now I'm 30. This was 9 years ago. I've been going to church very regularly. Mostly because I was lazy, and mostly lazy, like 90% lazy. About 10%, I felt like most Christians at the time were hypocrites that only used God as their sugar daddy. But that's beside the point. Anyway, the older I get, the more I understand that church is there for a reason. It's there to fellowship with other believers, and the fellowship is what matters. The prayer, the praise and worship, and the sermons are the reason most people go to church. Um, but you can have, you can pray on your own. You can get preached to, like you can, with technology now, like you can live stream a sermon. But you go to church for the fellowship. Um, and you need that. You need people who think like you, who support you when you're down, who you can support when they need help. Um, People who will show you who you are without the delusions of who you think you are. Like people who will put you in check with the quickness when you need to be put into check. Um, Lucky for me, I'm blessed to have found that group of people. Labor Day weekend, Tactical Response Fighting Pistol, 2015. There's just a group of guys who are all taking a class. We're all taking a class together, and we just decided, hey, it'll just be more advantageous if we rented this cabin together. Nathan Bedford Forest, cabin number 4. That's how you know that this made an impact on me, because I can remember all of these details. But that's my group. Ever since, well, before then, it was just, we talked a lot. We talked almost every day before this event. I fully expected, honest to God, I fully expected that once the class was over, that'd be it. Like, I'd never talk to them again, because that's just how people have always been in my life, is you do the thing, planning up to the thing, and then once the thing is over, that's it. But going on 2 years, man, me and my group of guys, we talk every day. And in that 2 years, I've done a lot. I've grown a lot more than I thought one person could grow and one person could change over that, because 2 years in the grand scheme of things isn't that long. But I would implore you to find a group like that. You can't be afraid for them to tell you how things are. You can't be afraid for them to tell you you messed up, because that's what they're there for. Another thing, so you need that support system. Your spirit really matters in this, because you can't go through this life alone. You think you can, but you can't. Another aspect of spirit is wisdom. A lot of people confuse wisdom and knowledge. For me, knowledge is your ability to know stuff. Like, I have a lot of knowledge about stuff. Wisdom is the ability to apply that knowledge in a meaningful way. Like, I cook. Everybody knows I cook at this point. I could know every single ingredient, the flavor profile of every ingredient. I could have intimate knowledge of every single ingredient known to man. If I don't apply that knowledge, then it doesn't mean anything. Another aspect of spirit is constitution. Now, when I mean constitution, I mean your willingness to drive forward in the face of adversity. Your ability to fight the uphill battle. Without these things, you're really in for a very, very long, maybe long, pending other factors, a very long and very meaningless and pointless life. Because the last aspect that I'm going to talk about, and I specifically put this last, is your hopes, your dreams, your aspirations for this life, the things you want to achieve. Be that fame, be that monetary gain, be that just having a family, starting a business and making it successful, writing a book, making this piece of art or taking this picture that gets featured in this specific gallery. These, your hopes and your dreams are your driving force. You know, some people hope, like I know specifically, I hope he doesn't mind, but my friend Dana, some of you know him, some of you don't. If you don't know him, that's fine. If you know who he is, then awesome. His goal, his dream, is to be able to see his grandkids get married, something like that. Because he's had some serious health issues. And I'm not going to go into that because that's personal information. If he wants to share that with you, he can share that with you. But seeing his progress, because he's in my Facebook group, he's in Combat Color on Facebook. Seeing his progress shows me that he has that drive, he has the constitution to meet his goal. And I salute you, Dana. Every day you post stuff, man, I'm like, rock on, dude. But everybody has that goal, no matter how small it is or how big and unfathomably huge. My English broke for a second. Unfathomably huge it is. If you don't have the drive and you have that fear, that debilitating fear of failure, a fear phobia, or fail phobia, I guess is what we would call it, and you have that fail phobia, you're never going to get there. And if you if all of your dreams and all of your hopes die, and there's no reason for you to exist. You're just a shell. You're just a body, regardless of how fit it is. You're just a body. You're just you're just you're a zombie in this world. And I don't care if you say, "Oh, I don't have any goals. I've met all, I don't have any goals or any dreams or anything like that." No, you're a shell. You really need to think about this because that's what makes you human. Animals, pretty much all animals have the same basic instincts. The instinct to survive, the instinct to eat, and the instinct to reproduce. We as humans have so much more than that. We have an instinct to achieve things greater than ourselves. We have an instinct to learn about things that we don't understand. Like, we're problem solvers. That's the way we were made or evolved or whatever the hell you want to use. I believe that was the way we were created. We were created that way for a reason. And it wasn't for you to fall back onto that very basal biological process. You are meant for great things. You just have to push, you have to drive forward, and you have to be willing to fight that uphill battle. That's going to be the end of this series. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something from it. And I really hope that there's at least one person out there who takes anything from this. With that, I'm going to let you guys go and think about it. Obviously, I don't say it in all of my videos, but there's a comment section down there. If you appreciated the video, leave me a comment. If you appreciated the series, leave me a comment. If you think my series and my videos suck and that I should stop doing YouTube stuff, you don't matter, but you can leave a comment down there anyway. I'm going to keep doing this because it's what I want to do. And it helps me a lot, actually. So, with that, I hope you guys go out there and kill it. Later.